everyone, welcome to part 2 of Spine Corrector this month. So we're going to start off sitting on here. You should feel really amazingly warm in your back now. We're going to look at rotation. So find your sitting bones and have them kind of reaching back and towards there a little bit rather than being tucked under. So you can have a little bit of wiggle and kind of get your bottom into kind of that part, and then you can come and sit up. Just start with your hands across your chest and look around the room and come into a little bit of rotation, and then just let that come back. And go the other side, like really let your eyes guide how far you come through. And you can feel that go up all the way through the body, eyes guiding. And you'll have one side like better than the other, or different, should I say, to the other. And breathe. I'm grunting, not breathing. And then you're going to take the arms now, it's like you're going to give someone a big cuddle, and go again. Really spread your fingers and reach the hands away from each other to give you that lift and that sense of height through your spine. So next time you're around, stay reaching, turn and look over your shoulder, and then turn back and reach a little bit further, and then let that whiz you round to the other side. So the arms keep reaching and you keep breathing, and enjoy kind of wringing out your spine. Get your eyes to really look, and you'll find each time you go that you can come a little bit further around. 2 more, breathing through that, listening to your body, working with where you're at today, but not being worried about moving, and exploring where the ends of your body are. Nice job. So from there, interlink the hands, place them behind the head, and arms deep in their sockets. Just bring your sacrum back onto the barrel. The head falls back, and you're going to let your lower back sink. So at this point, have you feel a little bit closer actually. At this point, to go back into extension, reach your thighs forward and let yourself rest with you're in like that bridge kind of position. And then from the head, let the head sink. Let the spine come back down and over the barrel, and let your head kind of be invited back up. You're just coming to kind of here. We're not going all the way back up. So then I sink back, breathe. That point where I feel it, you wait for it, and then you just let it happen. So there's a 2 kind of directional move through the body. Breathe in at the top, let any necessary tension go. And then breathe out and reach your tailbone long, just like the weight of the pelvis bring you back down. And then you lift the head, everything we practiced in the first one, and send the mid-rib cage back to bring you up. Then we go again. Head takes you back. There's that moment where you feel it and you let the pelvis rise up. Reach the knees forward. Settle. Keep the connection with the shins reaching forward, and you can feel like your heels are pulling towards the arc a little bit, and then let your tailbone go and let yourself just move around and over. Arc the arms forward and come all the way up this time, and come and bring yourself on to the end of your arc now. I'm going to take my legs forward a little bit and try not knock all the boxes over. So we're going to go into spine rotation again, but this time you're going to keep going and reach forward, and then feel that someone's got your back hand and they pull you back up. And you're going to go around the other side, but you're going to keep looking under your armpit as you reach forward, and then reach the back hem back to bring you up and spin around the other side. Reach forward, look under your armpit, look, see what you can see. Get the back end to pull you back up, and around you go. And you keep, it's like you keep turning, you keep turning, you keep turning. You're trying to see like an owl, 3D around, and each time you go, you you're taking a little bit more of the room. One more there. Rotating as you bend forward, back arm brings you up, and come back to the center, and then come and sit sideways on. So I'm gonna allow my pelvis to reach for the arc, and then rib cage by rib cage, I'm gonna drape over. So take this hand over, I'm gonna spiral it around and let the head relax. I love this, the barrel for this kind of work. And then I'm gonna reach the hands again, the hands are gonna reach, and I'm gonna think about dials on my spine. My first dial, I'm gonna stay here to start with, my second dial, my third dial, and then I come all the way over and kind of counterbalance in the opposite direction. And then go rib cage as long as you can over, and I'm trying not to like come forward or back, and then I'm breathing, and I'm gonna scoop and come around and over, a little bit of and you're gonna go rib cage by rib cage all the way. The leg reaches away, it's like a bit of a break. I found a little bit more length that time. And then, so as you come up, if you hit kind of the mobility, so the rib cage goes down, I've got that first dial turning in my upper back, and then mid back dial turning, and then lower back dial turning, and then I come over. You can have a hand down or a hand up and reaching, whatever works for you. One more here. Ooh, a little bit longer. Didn't organise that quite well. And then scoop the air, bend the leg, turn the dials. Boy, do I need this today after biking. And then all the way out, interlink the fingers and bring the legs to the front. Notice the rib cage underneath and just let your head drop. So I'm going to send the rib cage forward to the camera and then send the rib cage behind to come back. I'm just going to do a couple there. Rib cage forward, arms in their socket, open out, breathe and breathe out. And I'm going to circle this hand and just let the movement flow now, opening out through your body. Jaw relaxed, enjoying these movements. So all these kind of side bending movements will always free you up. Take one leg back and find that length, spiral the thigh bone in and reach the rib cage just to come up a little bit here. So I'm resting my lower rib cage in and I'm just going to lift and lower this leg. My bottom leg is on the side of the foot. So we're really working into this great movement you need for your gait. Spiral the thigh bone in. And I'm going to add on, I'm going to bring the thigh bone back, reach behind, come down and come up. Send the thigh bone into the socket. Femur arc, so I'm finding the length and the internal rotation to take my foot round. So the head is going to the foot is coming to the head, and then I just lower and lift, bring the leg in, take the leg long, lower and lift. One more, inhale, exhale, lower and lift, and then let that leg go and send your rib cage in and come around and just see if you can use hands to rotate yourself around to the box, to the arc. Gosh, can't find my words today. And then let yourself come over into this place. So I'm going to pull myself up a little bit and fan my heart open and forward, and then lengthen on down. I'm just going to do 3 more. Inhaling, collarbones are wide, exhaling and coming down, and letting the back of the head float and my eye line come up slowly. I'm not moving in my neck, so I'm trying to wring out again through the spine. All these amazing movements really give like nutrition and fluid, and you can see, just do 1 more now just to see how amazing that is and how easy that is to come around and over now. Can you see? You can see it on mine, can't you? So I'm going to have my back to you, is that all right? But then you'll see kind of what I'm talking about. If you flip your arc around so you can see me, and you'll get that image of my spine now that I've been talking about. So as I come down, I want rib, I want hip, I want each individual rib cage to reach around and hug the barrel, and including the neck. The neck, the cervical is part of this lovely movement we're doing. And just have a few moments, breathe in, releasing, yielding. Get rid of any unnecessary tension. We want ease of movement. Arms are in their sockets, shoulders are soft. And then I'm going to come around and I'm going to send and turn each dial up to come around in the opposite direction. So reaching over the barrel, breathing out. We're going to come straight back up this time. Breathe in and turning to come around. Just kind of really find the length as you go, and enjoy how you can really use the arc of the shape of the spine corrector to really come down and off. You can see where I want to flex, and we've all got them wonderful wonks in our spine, and they all still need moving. So it's not that I'm trying to be, it's not that I will be symmetrical and perfect, but I'm trying to find my way back there, 1 movement at a time. Interlink the fingers, bring the knees together, arms in their sockets, send the rib cage forward, and let your weight of your head just sink into your hands, jaw relax. Send the rib cage back to come back through. And again, inhaling and exhaling. And so it's your rib cage that's kind of steering the movement now, the rib cage on the bottom, and you really appreciate how it can turn. It's kind of like you're on a spit. That's an image. Or like you're going around a maypole, your rib cage, 1 rib cage is coming under, there's this turning around the central of the spine. And then keeping your arm in its socket, just let your gaze follow your hand, and let your arm just really kind of freely take you through that movement. So you feel the spine move, and with every movement it becomes more fluid, easy, soft, and yielding. Relax, and then reach in, send the rib cage in, prop yourself up, stand into the edges of your feet, and send 1 leg down to lift the other. I'm still going to keep my back to you because sometimes it's good to see the other side. Obviously you'll be watching, but it's quite nice to see sometimes what I'm on about, see some different angles, see some different lines. So now we take this leg up. So as I send my thigh bone, my knee forward, I want my thigh bone to come back and my sitting bone to move away from my tailbone. I'm showing you on my wonky side. And then as I send my foot towards my bottom, I want my thigh bone to spiral in and the back of my head to feel it could kind of be attracted to my foot. So I'm just going to go inhale and exhale. And I'm resting into my rib cage heavily and heavily into my pelvis. A little bit of support from my arm, but it's because the weight's in the pelvis and the lower rib cage that my head stays up without any problem at all. And then we're going to combine the two. So I'm just going to lower and lift, bring forward and back, lower and lift, bring forward and back. Ooh, forgot about my head. Let's do one more. And then come all the way up and over. And then let's just check out how amazing that feels now to go around and release and to come around and come up. Amazing. Okay, we're nearly there. This is, we're going into some extension. So come around onto your front and find a place where your rib cage is together and the hands are just resting just in front of the spine corrector. And then you can tuck your toes flat and just come into a little bit of breathing. So you let your rib cage become heavy on the roller and your hips. If this is not comfy for you to be here, just put like a cover on or towel or get comfy. Really important to be comfy here. As time goes on, you'll be able to yield a little bit more and soften, but we feel what we feel. Lift and fan it open. Just your heart rib cage, back of the head floats, and then come down. So it's actually really good because you can feel whether you're winging out your rib cage or fanning out your rib cage. We don't want the rib cage to stick out in to the spine corrector. We want the rib cage to turn and fan that way. And then I can keep going by pushing to lift up right onto the pubic bone, and my feet are quite active into the ground. And then I'm going to lengthen forward and around. So I'll pick up the collarbones, fan the rib cage, and then just push and pick up that lovely shape. And then come around and down. I'm going to do two more. Pick up the collarbones, inhale. Find the length all the way from my big toes back here. I'm pressing, I'm lengthening. I'm getting as long as I can. My pubic bone's really heavy into the arc. And then I come through and up. And then find a point where you can balance and just get long. And then keep lifting and fanning out your rib cage as you swim. You're going to breathe. And then you're going to swim like you mean it. Back of the head lifted, heart fanning out. Just go back just a little bit. You'll find that point where you can stay lifted in extension and long through your front. There, I've got it now. Without extending in the neck. And breathe in. Arms in their sockets. Really lengthen from the little finger side of their arms to send the thumbs back towards you. And then just melt. Good back work, everyone. Come on up. How are you doing? We've got a little bit left to do a little bit of press up to finish, yeah? We're going to use the arc to give us good form. So have the hands close in, collarbones wide, toes tucked under. So back of the head floats, and I'll reach the hands back and press out into the press up position. I'm going to slowly bend the elbows forward to rest into my rib cage. Pressing back, I line up and inhale in. So I'm not collapsing onto it, but it's giving me a moment to kind of really get some feedback of where I'm staying long in space. And I'm sinking back into my heels as I need to alter my arms now. So far more ankle dorsiflexion as I bend my arms in. Breathe in. And breathe out, and we're just bending your arm and straightening your arms with a little tiny bit of support. And then put the knees on top, walk the hands in, drop back into the heels and lengthen down through your spine. Let your tailbone drop and breathe into your lower back. Expand into that tissue. And then let your tailbone drop and roll yourself up to unravel and unwind. That was part 2 of your spine corrector. I've got loads more for you. So we're going to go on to part 3 if you're up for another 20 minutes. If not, just do these classes individually as well and build them up to doing a full class if you want to. I shall see you in part 3, whether it's today or tomorrow. Don't worry, but I will see you in there. Thank you very much. Have fun whatever you're doing next. Take care and see you real soon.